Okay, give me just 2 seconds.
Oh, no worries.
Okay, so I would like to just say hello to everyone, City of Glenarden. We are here and we are with Miss Patricia Watts, who has invited us to talk about the importance of veterans. And in this time of such a cold winter already starting at 29 degrees, we want to make sure that this coat drive is the best ever. Miss Surratt Albel is one of the significant, most wonderful women who are involved with creating such an amazing program. Amidst that program, I would like to introduce a fellow veteran.
Yes.
And just state your name.
My name is Alicia Pryor.
Alicia Pryor, and how many years did you give?
I did 21 and a half years of service with the United States Air Force.
Oh, I did 20. So thank you so much. You know, what did you love about being in the Air Force mostly?
The people.
The people.
The people, you know, because you get to know and travel all around the world and you get to meet people from all walks of life.
Exactly.
And able to share some of those things as you progress through the service. So
exactly. You know, I love the people and I also love the service. So 5 tours of war, I'm happy to say that I am a returning war veteran. And that gave me such a spirit of just zest for the people and for service and for what we mean when we say we will defend the Constitution of the United States. And not only that, but we also protect those that are abroad as well. Today, we are doing a coat drive for the veterans who have served and unfortunately have found themselves in a homeless situation. Now, I am happy to say that the homeless situation is on the downward trend here in our counties. So we are very happy with what the federal, state, and the local government is doing here in the state of Maryland. But there is more work to be done. There's literally 60,000 vets that are still in a homeless situation. I need to bring over Miss Arbel, if we can bring her over. But it's definitely something that, you know, if we look at where we are and how we have grown as a nation, what more could we be doing? You know, we should be doing a little bit more than just doing the coats.
Exactly. And that is our desire. We want to not let this be a one-time opportunity, but something where we're intentional about helping our homeless veteran community, because each one needs to reach one. Exactly. So we need to make a consistent effort to do so.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for interviewing with me, my Air Force sister. Blessings. All right, blessings. I look forward to celebrating with you. If we can bring Miss hi. It's a pleasure. Mayor Cashenna A. Cross, City of Glenarden. I would like to introduce you to Ms. Surratt Albel. She is the founder, co-founder.
I wish I was the founder. BNI has been around. It will be its 38th anniversary.
38th anniversary
in January. So I have owned the region for 5 years.
So you're the regional director for BNI.
Yes, I own the franchise for Central Maryland, which Silver Spring is part of it.
Fantastic. Well, we are here in beautiful Silver Springs, and I tell you, this is a gem of a place here. The Civic Center is fantastic. Talk to me about what we're doing here. What's the nature of tonight's events?
BNI is a Business Network International. It's an organization that helps business owners grow their business through networking. We have 15 chapters in the region, and we have more than 300 members.
More than 300 members. That's fantastic.
So we are celebrating today our community. Our motto is Givers Gain. So we chose to contribute to others while we are celebrating our holidays. We're celebrating our camaraderie. We're celebrating the fact that we are help each other grow. Yes. Through BNI, and our members have been collecting coats. So we have a coat drive. Our goal is to exceed more than 100 coats to donate to veterans, and that's, you know,
I think you're gonna make it.
I know we are. I think
Ms. Arbel, I think you're gonna make it. One donor came in and has promised a mega load of coats, and I believe you already have 60 coats over there. I bought my coat, so I'm looking forward for us to have this opportunity to celebrate with you and BNI, and also to remember our veterans who have given so much. Many have paid the ultimate sacrifice, have watched the ultimate sacrifice, and that really leads to a lot of what the homeless situation is about, right? So from PTSD to bouts of anxiety and depression. These are mental illnesses that within our community of veterans, we are also needing to pay attention to. But tonight, you're saving a lot of lives because it is 29 degrees out here.
Yeah, it's going to get colder.
And it's gonna get colder. It's never gotten this cold this early, I don't know. I've been here for just over 7 years. I haven't seen it get this cold this fast.
I don't know about that, but I'll tell you, we also have a lot of veterans within our organization. In BNI, we have tens of veterans who are business owners, and they just, BNI is a system that help businesses grow. And our veterans who love systems, they love the community, they love to support each other, they love the mentality of givers gain. All of them, they just love to be part of BNI. And when the idea of contributing coats to veterans came up, the excitement was above and beyond. And we are very grateful for the opportunity, and we're very grateful for you to be here and celebrate this opportunity with us.
Well, thank you so much, Ms. Arbel. It's been fantastic talking with you, and I look forward to seeing you in there celebrating with you. Congratulations to BNI. 38
so
years.
Yes.
Fantastic and growing strong. Thank you, madam.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so I just want to talk a little bit about the philosophy of BNI. BNI was built upon the idea of givers gaining. BNI offers members its opportunity to share ideas, contacts, networks, and most importantly, business referrals. The big members that are here are really like salespeople, working everyday lives within the markets that we shop. Miss Patricia Watts, for example, is one of the phenomenal women who are part of the We Model industry, who fights and strives to fight human trafficking, not only in the Prince George's County, Maryland, DC, Virginia area, but internationally as well. There is a lot of important work going on here. And in 2021, this company, BNI, had 286,000 members worldwide, and they are anticipating passing 12.5 million referrals, which resulted in more than $19.2 billion in business. So we're talking about celebrating our small businesses, but also this company, as you've heard from Ms. Arbel, is one that is very much so seated in the world of veterans. I do want to highlight that we have Ms. Patricia Watts here. I want her to come and say hello to you. Hello, Ms. Watts.
Oh, thank you for being here.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
How much it means when leadership comes to community events like this.
Well, I thank you so much. So you're a veteran as well. Tell us about your service time.
Yes, 22 years as an enlisted in the Army, intelligence and cyber, and I loved every minute of it. No regrets. And you talk about giving selfless service. I believe we are all here to serve. And whenever you can develop young troops to do the things that they want to do while protecting and looking out for something bigger than what they are, it's a blessing within itself.
I know I loved you. I'm an Intel girl and a cyber girl myself. I mean, this is literally my sister here.
It is.
I thank you so much for your time. 5 tours in war myself, having served with the Army. I want to tell you, all right, who I want to say that some of my best friends are still serving with the Army.
Yeah.
And I thank you so much for your service time. And I thank you for what you're doing here. We saw the coats growing. Where's my coat? Can you see my coat over there?
Yes.
So, Cass, we had to do a little bit more. There's some extra prizes in there. We worked with a church when one of our tours of duty, and we had a homeless ministry.
Right.
And we would bring all of our small toiletries that we got from various hotels and travel. When you're in a military town, that is one of the most significant things you can do for the homeless community. And if we're talking about the veterans, we can actually help heal this problem.
We can.
We can heal this problem.
This is my issue. No veteran should ever go homeless. No veteran should ever go in need.
Mhm.
And I just don't understand it. But I know as a community and unity that we can make a difference.
We have to make a difference. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you
being
so
here.
much.
Okay.
All right. I'm
Well,
rounding up.
Yes, ma'am. Just a round of applause for the evening and for each and every one of you standing here in this space. Give yourself a round of applause. One thing that we learned as a veteran force
when we serve, we serve. And today you are serving. Today you are giving your best. And this is something that I want to bring out with Ms. Sarita Barrow. I want to thank you to Ms. Patricia Watts for inviting me. I'm Mayor Cross from the city of Glenarden, and I am a 20-year retired active duty U.S. Air Force veteran. I will never ever forget. It gave me 21 countries traveled. I am now at 27. It gave me a husband. It gave me a life. It gave me 5 tours in war, and I came home. Yeah. The Air Force is something that gave me family. Today, you are a part of what we call family. Today, you are a part of the family, the network of families that are going to end the cold for a lot of homeless members today. And we thank you for that. Today, BNI has a program. Thank you. The philosophy is built upon the idea of givers gain. Givers gain. BNI offers members the opportunity to share ideas, contacts, networks, and most importantly, business referrals. So the referral process is something that is phenomenally important because the more you grow your network is your net worth. So it is so important in the business industry that we drive harder and we strive to make a better world for more people, and that's what we're doing here for this coat drive. As you can see, we had 60 coats before the evening even started. And I just want to say thank you, and thank you again. You see my little coat up there. Now, one thing I'll tell you about a Mississippi girl, she's going to do a little bit extra, so I'm sure there's some stuff in there that they can use, right? So I was a part of a church that had a homeless ministry. And that homeless ministry had no color and it had no flavor. It was just care. And every time we took a trip, I told you how many countries had I traveled to? 21, 27. Every hotel, we kept all of our toiletries, all those little things that we throw in the trash, all those little things that we leave so just carelessly in the hotels are things that make a difference to a homeless member. And for veterans, that is something that is so important. There's 60,000 of them that will be sleeping in the cold. It's already 29 degrees. As I can recall, this is the earliest we've seen winter. Usually it's January 7th. I know because it's my daughter's birthday and she waits for the blizzard. But I want to just say thank you again. I want to give you a couple of more facts and I won't stay before you long. But I will say that most of the veterans that we see living on the street are the young. The young that have unfortunately met the wards of the modern age, where you will see UAV, aerial unmanned vehicles, who do impact human bodies. And when you are an airman, a Marine, or if you are an Army member, most of the times you have to clean the scene. That can lead to various levels of stress, anxiety, and PTSD. It doesn't make you dangerous, but it does make you careful to be considerate of human life and that it matters. We find that most of our young have a very hard time, and our suicide rates are skyrocketing because of it. And that's one of the things that as a nation we should care for. But I'm happy to say that in our counties, we are on a downward trend. So we are helping to end this homeless situation in our veterans by the legislation from the federal to the local to the state level. So this is important that you continue to leverage your members of the House, of the Congress, of the Senate, and Annapolis, if you're here in Maryland, if you're Virginia, everywhere to make sure that legislation comes forth for our veterans. The shelters, as we know, many of which are in dilapidated state, and many of which haven't had an update. HUD has a lot of facts on, shelters and how they're going to improve them, but it's important that the general homelessness in the shelters are actually improved. So leveraging our county and state officials to build shelters that can, in fact, cover our homelessness is a really a need that we must do. When we look at our pandemic and what it led to as an increase in the homelessness of the veterans, not only did it take many of our working class out of jobs, but it made it hard for our veterans to actually get an increase in pay, and as which was not able to maintain a lot of their housing. So one thing about the pandemic, while it took a lot of our resources, it didn't change how money was taken out of our pockets. So I want to just acknowledge that. And then I want to acknowledge a couple more facts here that is experiencing in the veteran world. When I look at the homeless situation overall, it is important that we look at not only our adult population, but we look at our families. As a pretty large chunk of this population is of the Caucasian, the African American, and the Hispanic communities. That's the numbers that are coming out of HUD. So let's please make sure that we care for our communities, continue to do what you're doing. Each one of you are dynamic and you're making a big chunk of change when you're giving out these coats, but you're making a big chunk of change in the lives of those that you haven't yet met. So know that you are a blessing, and it has been an honor to greet you and speak to you today about the veteran situation and say thank you.
Next, I want to give the mic to Sir Marvell, just to welcome us all as our Executive Director for our Center for Veterans.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mayor Cross, for your information and for your warmth and care for the veterans. Just by show of hands, how many people here are veterans? Just look around, and thank you very much. And the reason I'm asking this is because, as we all know, in BNI, we have a lot of people who are veterans. So it is not a mistake that when we were talking about how we can contribute to others, the veterans were chosen. For some reason, I don't know why, but a lot of veterans really love BNI because we have a system, we have a community, we care about each other, we give, right? So there is a direct correlation between people's contribution, what they did before they became entrepreneurs, and what they did, and their choice of joining BNI. Some of you don't know, but I am a lieutenant myself. I was a lieutenant in the Israeli Army. I was an education lieutenant. And I can call myself a veteran, although not in the U.S. Army. But I'm really grateful and honored for everybody's contribution to the veterans, and most of all to Mayor Cross and to Joe for your contribution, your dedication, and we would love for you to share with everybody what it is that your organizations do. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody. I'm a veteran. I served from 95 to 99 and then into 2000. I was a 54 Bravo NBC, and I started out a Patriot Missile crew member. And I do apologize, I'm a little nervous, man. But Project Veteran House was formed 9 months ago. We provide 3 levels of services for the veterans. The first tier is for the homeless veterans, providing them housing, providing them a safe shelter, providing them rental assistance, everything that they need so they can survive and they can get into one of our programs to be able to transition to permanent housing. And our second piece is for transitioning soldiers, because we all know transitioning soldiers, they don't have a plan. There's not a plan. I was a Patriot Missile crew member. You don't come out in the streets and be like, oh, he's a Patriot guy. Like, there's no jobs out there for that. So our plan is to get a transition program a year out from ETS so that these soldiers can be certified, trained, and can get what they need, job placement, and it comes down to mentorship. One of the biggest things is having somebody inside mentoring you and then outside. So that is where all our passion comes from. And then, like I said, the second tier is my own business, provides free IT training, certifications, job placements with partners. We're only 9 months old, but there's no quit in us. And then one of our biggest things, I suffer from PTSD. I still do, but my experiences and what I've been through, I'm gonna show that I'm not gonna quit. I'm not gonna quit on my brothers and sisters. So that's what we do with our PTSD and TBI programs. We have a partner where we do equine therapy for the veterans, and she's giving the program out for free, and music therapy, and then we volunteer at the Charlotte Hall Veterans Home. So about us, we're driven. We're not going to take no for an answer. Our long-term goal with Project Veteran House is to build a transitioning tiny home community. They do it all across the U.S., but there's not one that's legit, that has a one-stop shop where they can get their alcohol, their drug treatment, their life skills, how to cook, how to clean. Like, that's important. And so that's just mine. I could talk all day about it, but I really appreciate
Success today, right?
What's that?
You just had success this week, right?
Yeah, helped a veteran, was homeless veteran, got him in a program in Baltimore called CHEP. So what the program does is it gets them their alcohol treatment, their drug treatment, and then they find them jobs and transition. And then part of that is they have money that's put into a savings account. So when they get out of the program, they have money.
Yeah.
They have these skills.
Yeah.
And it's all about knowledge. A lot of people don't understand that these veterans don't know. They don't know what's out there, what programs are out there. And it's frustrating. We defended our country, and we have veterans on the streets dying every night. And that's where our passion comes, and we're starting tomorrow morning to go face to face with all the homeless veterans and making sure that they know that we're here for them and we're going to be there.
God bless you.
Well, don't you see where our wonderful contributions went tonight?
Oh, yes.
So even though it's the giving season, we want to make sure that it was no coincidence that this organization is 9 months old. They've been birthed into this atmosphere to give. And our whole philosophy is givers gain. So we're going to continue to give over this next year and make sure that all of our nonprofits that are around in any way that we can help. So please make sure that you keep in contact with Joseph in any way that you can give throughout the year that we do so. So now that we've gotten through the tearjerker part, because I know it's all I had to keep them down, we get to go gain some holiday pounds because it's time to eat. All right, so it's time to have some fun with a little bit of spirits and cheer over there. So please continue to network. Let's go back inside. Let's celebrate and just know that the best is yet to come.
While veterans account for about 52% of the veterans experiencing homelessness, this data, basically ethnicity, has shown a great social disparity. White vets will make up about 52.1% of all homeless vets, and our African Americans account for 35.1%. Our Hispanics are represented even less, accounting for 5.1%. When we look at those demographics, it is important also to note that it is really our younger veterans that are finding themselves in a homeless situation because of many of the stigmatas that are associated with PTSD and the other mental illnesses that may be associated with anxiety or depression. They find it very hard to be hired, and at which case you'll find that the younger generation is generally more likely to go homeless than some of our senior generation. The general homeless population is over 40% between the ages of 31 and 50. And this is the largest group of vets living in shelters also that are living on the streets. Those that are age 62 and older represent a large chunk as well. So from that age group of 31 to 50, with a small gap to 62, this brings forward our homeless situation, and still, again, that's one of the larger groups, our younger folks. And over 90% of our veterans living in the streets, in shelters, are also male. The Federation of American Scientists in 2013 showed that males account for around 92% of the veterans living in shelters and on the streets. So it is a significantly lower number for our female veterans, because our females, we find, are more likely to be taken in. I want to acknowledge our American Legion Post 275 and our American Legion Auxiliary 275 and all of the work that they're doing, even with our community of Glenarden, to help solve this problem and also bring an increased level of social welfare to our veterans that are in our community of Glenarden. And one of the key pieces that has been found to be as a proponent outside of mental illnesses or depression is that social disparity. And coming off of COVID-19, one of the key things that we want to keep in mind is that the social peace is a critical piece. We found that out when we ended COVID-19, as it was hard for us to come out of our homes. When we finally came out, it made us feel different. The air was lighter. So I thank you so much. We're about to start the program. It's been wonderful interviewing with you today. Be sure to give a coat to a homeless member today. If you see a vet, kiss a vet. We thank you so much, Glenarden. Have a wonderful night. Bye-bye. And remember, keep moving the mission forward.